NIL has completely changed the game for all athletes, but not everyone knows how to completely take advantage of it. After earning over $100,000 in partnerships, here's what I've learned about maximizing NIL opportunities. And before we get started, my name is Evan Mendoza, and I've played 7 years of professional baseball, and I've been able to partner with some major brands like DraftKings, Rapsodo. I've even earned some free food at some steakhouses across the country. I've earned some free clothes, earned a discount for some ice. I've even gotten some golf equipment and shoot, even a mattress for the apartment that I'm in. Today, I'm sharing tips on how to navigate NIL opportunities away from the field. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. All right, so let's get into it. I have 3 key points that I really want to hit on: building your brand, creating valuable content, guys, and then choosing the right partnerships. So if you're trying to build your brand early, it's more than just talent, believe it or not. And this is why I say this is going to be a different video, because typically these videos are about baseball instruction, development, obviously the recruiting process. This is completely on the other side of things. This is almost like at the business side of the sport. Obviously, how well you market yourself, how well you expose yourself on social media, because ultimately it's those who expose themselves the most doing day in the lives or whatever, basically, that build an audience and build trust with everyone. And if either you or your son is a high school baseball player who's looking to play at the college level, you're looking to develop your skills, maybe you're looking to get noticed or secure a scholarship, go down below in the description and download my 27-page recruiting blueprint. It'll be waiting for you. If we're talking about really NIL, it's about visibility, guys. It's about attention. I'm a huge fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, and he talks about how, yes, money is important and this is important and that's important, but attention is the most important asset in today's age of 2025. It's about to be the new year. I'm recording this right before New Year's of 2025, so this is an exciting time, obviously, but really start to understand that you want to build out these personal brands and these personal relationships, even on social media, and that absolutely can be done sooner rather than later. So I definitely don't want you guys to be waiting around and just waiting for the perfect time to start. This is also where, when building your brand, make sure that you're posting really good content. So that's, really key number 2. Step number 2 is create the valuable content first before we even think about NIL. Guys, we can't just jump the gun and start jumping to step 4, step 5, step 6 of the process. We need to understand that there is a process, and if we just try to get paid partnerships like I've been able to do, it's not going to work, right? For example, I've been able to work with DraftKings where they paid me very, very well. I've been able to earn, free product as well, like Rapsodos, which are like $5,000, which is pretty cool. All the things that I mentioned earlier in the video, a discount on some jewelry. I've gotten some free clothes, free food at steakhouses and French bistros on Palm Beach Island. It's just pretty cool to be able to see the connections that I've been able to make on social media, and of course getting some free stuff in the process, but also promoting those restaurants, promoting those brands, making sure that they're being built up while I get to do something that I really enjoy, which is sometimes just eating really good food. I don't know if you guys follow my personal Instagram page, but I post a ton of restaurant reviews, and that's just something that I enjoy doing because I get to capture the experience of going out to dinner at a steakhouse or at a nice fancy restaurant. And typically these restaurants love it because there's nothing really that they have to give other than the free food. They don't have to pay for a marketing budget or anything like that through me. It's just more or less a collab, right? I get something, they get something in return, and it's a win-win partnership, right? But then there's also like paid partnerships and things like that, which I'll get into, but we have to really understand, if we're creating content with a passion and we actually enjoy it, I would definitely recommend doing day in the life to start off, because I think that's one of the easiest ways. In today's age, going viral is something that sometimes you want, sometimes you don't want, because there's definitely some backlashes, but doing day in the life content is very interesting. Honestly, if you watching this video did a day in the life, I don't care if you're the parent or the player or a coach or a swimmer in California trying to play college swimming, or go swim in college. I don't even care. Watching a day in the life is just very, very interesting to me. If there was a NASA astronaut doing a day in the life, I think that would be very intriguing. If there was a chef in Kansas City, I think that would be interesting to see what they're up to. So day in the lives are just very, very interesting pieces of content because people want to be a little bit nosy, right? I used to do day in the lives during spring training and when I was with the Cardinals and Padres, and that's where some of those videos went kind of viral, like got 300,000 plus views, sometimes over 1 million, which was definitely very exciting. So making sure that we have the basis of really just posting really good content first, and then that's gonna attract the followers, that's gonna attract the attention, that's gonna attract brands, partnerships, restaurants, right? Wanting to work with you. And I will say, like, a lot of people will think and get into the misunderstanding that you have to have 10,000 followers to get a promotion. And believe it or not, this happened one time where I reached out to a brand before I had 10,000 followers, and their response was basically, we don't work with anyone unless you have 10,000 followers. And that kind of like, put that perspective on me that I need to take care of my socials that much more, right? And that's exactly what I did. I amassed over 10,000 followers, and now I think I have over 550,000 followers across all platforms, which is pretty cool in my opinion. TikTok being that foundation really for everything during the COVID years. But that only happened once. And in today's age of basically the influencer, opportunities that are available, right? It's a huge market, right? To be able to promote influencer marketing is what it's called on the inside of kind of just like business terms. Because if you think about it, you could pay a ton in ads and this and that, whatever, or you could pay through influencers to promote your product or service or restaurant, right? And it's a lot cheaper if you think going that route, and it's a little bit more organic as well. So think about it this way, from a brand's perspective, who do they necessarily want to work with? The guy with, maybe 50,000 followers and maybe, does really good content, has a brand, has a voice, but then, or we could do someone like super local. Let's say I live in West Palm Beach, Florida. Maybe I have like 1,500 followers, not a ton of followers, but let's say like my engagement rate is very, very high because I have very personal connections. A lot of the 1,500 followers that I have, maybe all 1,500 know me. All 1,500 have a deep connection with me. So think of it as like that person with 1,500 might have a little bit more pull, meaning like a lot of those connections are going to be more trustworthy connections. So brands sometimes actually like working with what's called a micro influencer, someone that has like less than 10,000 followers, to promote some clothes, promote a brand, promote like an energy drink, or a hydration mix. I've been able to get hydration mixes for free, energy drinks for free, things like that, hoodies, clothes, all that stuff. I mentioned a mattress in the apartment that I'm living in. Sometimes I hate to say this, but I've gotten underwear for free from like PSD. I think it's like a basketball brand, but either way, they have really good underwear because they've lasted me a long time. I've gotten socks for free, t-shirts. Like, it's just cool to be able to see, like, obviously to be able to get those things for free, but then also on the flip side, obviously helping these brands grow, because that is something that, to be honest with you, baseball is kind of lacking. And since I, am a baseball instructor, not everyone watching this video might be in the sport of baseball, but baseball is kind of lacking as far as social media content creation, just overall technology. We've been behind the curve for a while. So that kind of takes me into, step number 3 in this process, is choosing the right partnerships. And guys, believe it or not, there are good partnerships and there's definitely bad partnerships. There's also collabs that are good and collabs that are bad. A lot of the times growing, don't expect to get paid from any type of partnership, right? And the best way that I can explain this is like, I remember when Tommy Tanks was, blowing up at NC State. I went to NC State, so it was cool to be able to see him. And then he also grew up in Tampa. And I had a little bit of a connection with him before he really blew up on the stage, before he went to NC State, before he went to LSU, all that, fun stuff. But Tommy, one thing I saw when he was starting to blow up, he started promoting, Bojangles, which I was like kind of jealous of because I love Bojangles. He promoted like Fortnite and things like that, which is cool because that's like his brand in a sense. But when thinking about the bigger picture, I wish the number one thing that I did sooner was understand my brand voice and partner with a lot less brands, but made more of an impact in those specific brands. So let me explain exactly what that means. So in 2020 and 2021, I remember vividly I was in spring training and I was messaging so many brands for clothes. And it was really simple because the content creation process wasn't hard for me. I literally took a picture of the care package and threw it up on my Instagram story, and that was it. I did not take the time to actually create good content for any of these brands other than a simple picture that took me like 30 seconds to set up the picture. And I'm sure you guys have seen those pictures before where they just simply tag the brand, they say thank you at, and then tag the brand, maybe a hashtag, and that's just like a very low effort approach. Obviously, the more I learned about it, the more I realized these brands want video. These brands want a good creation process by the creator, and that's why they're sending me free stuff. They don't just want a picture because they could take a picture and throw it up on their Instagram. So that's number one lesson that I learned in that whole process. But also a lot of these brands, like they just simply exchange product for a simple Instagram story, which is okay. If you level up a little bit, what they're gonna do is maybe create some type of collab partnership. So that's kind of like the intermediate version where you'll get a percentage of sales. So think about if someone orders one product of yours that is $100. It's not a product of yours, but let's say it's a product of the brand. Basically, what's going to happen is you might get 10%, right? So you'll get $10 of the 100 that kicks back to you if that customer uses your link. So that's kind of like the caveat of, how you can get paid in NIL, but in small doses. And that's the approach that I would not take, believe it or not, because that is helping another brand grow more than your own personal brand. And guys, I can't stress enough, nothing is more important in today's age than your own personal brand in growing your game, growing your personal business, like whatever it may be. Social media is the foundation for this in 2025 and beyond. It's not going to be going away anytime soon. And if even you're a parent listening to this, and let's say you sell insurance, there is probably an insurance company right now on social media that is absolutely killing it on social media, but also killing it inside their book, inside their business as well. So this is just a small example of like, yes, you want to promote brands and you want to get free stuff, you want to get paid, but I always think there is a right win-win situations depending on the product, right? So for example, like Rapsodo was a great brand and is a great brand. They sent me the product, which is a few $1,000s. As far as a paid collaboration, it doesn't really make sense because that's number one, a product that I would actually use, and it actually made sense to promote that, especially on my Mendoza Baseball Academy's page. I've even gotten some free Oakleys as well, and that's something that I had no problem promoting on my Mendoza Baseball Academy and personal pages because Oakley is a brand that I absolutely love. But for example, I partnered once with a brand called Geology. It was like skincare, and they paid me decently well, right? And that's technically like not a brand that I would have collabed with today. Because today I understand my voice of like, I'm a baseball coach, I'm a baseball player, and I'm gonna promote brands around that. And there's definitely been times where like, and even like Cherry Bundy, that's a recovery like tart cherry juice, which is great for recovery. I highly recommend it to anyone. That's another brand that they actually paid me on top, but that's a brand that I love. I absolutely love to use. I drink very often whenever I can because it's great for my body. It's great for rest and recovery. So there's certain areas when you have to understand and kind of diagnose case by case, like, hey, if I promote let's say like a dog treat company, right? I have Coco now, and Coco is an amazing dog. She's about like 8 months old, and would that necessarily be 100% aligned with my Mendoza Baseball Academy? Probably not. So even if they offered me a lot of money, I would probably turn that down because, to be honest with you, it's just not aligned. So think about like your steps of a brand being aligned with you. And definitely there might be the easy route of just baseball equipment, the Bruce Bolts, the Old Hickories, whatever it may be. Those are the brands that ultimately you want to keep in mind when potentially partnering. But as far as how to, and this is a little bit of a bonus tip for you guys for staying this long, as far as how to actually achieve these partnerships, guys, you have to get over the mental hurdle, really, of reaching out to these brands on social media, create a simple copy and paste message, and just send it out to 100 different brands, 100 different companies, and see who bites. You would be surprised because you will get responses. You will get people saying like, hey, we're not offering partnerships at the time. You will get people saying, hey, we have a discount code. for your customers. If they use it, you're going to get a kickback as well. So that's kind of like a paid on commissions type style. As far as like getting paid opportunities, that's probably not going to happen until you amass a decent following, a decent audience, and you grab a lot of people's attention. But either way, as far as NIL opportunities, this is something that I'm really curious about. If you guys are interested in this topic at all, so if you guys do enjoy this video, go down below in the comments and just like comment something about NIL, maybe a specific topic, because this is something that I want to create more content on, because I think it's interesting for you guys. It's an interesting way for you guys to get paid, whether it's through free equipment or through actual cash deals. Maybe it's just a simple trade, but either way, these are the things that I think a lot of young baseball players in high school, in college are wanting. They want the free gear, they want the promotions, because that ultimately builds their brand up to be a force to be reckoned with to college coaches or even pro scouts. It kind of just builds up that confidence that this is the path of success throughout professional baseball. So NIL is just simply a huge opportunity if you approach it the right way. Start building those connections early, create good content, and choose the right partnerships. And if you're looking for a little bit more one-on-one personalized guidance within my Mendoza Baseball Academy, where I help high school baseball players play in college, go down below in the description to book a call with me to see if I can help your player play at the next level.